Hi TransHub, my name's Victoria.
And I'm Skye.
And we are going to be taking over TransHub this weekend, and we're so excited. I hope you enjoy what we have in store for you all.
We'll be answering some questions about our transition that we received via our Instagram.
And I hope you all enjoy. We have a lot of fun things for you throughout the weekend. So stick around. Thank you for the opportunity to be a part of something amazing. Make sure you follow TransHub, and we're going to get to our questions now. My favorite thing, I guess, is feeling comfortable in my skin and feeling more confident about who I am, because even when I came back, I started my transition in New York City. Then when I came back, I guess like before I left, I was really shy, and then I was still pretty crazy, but when I came back, I guess I felt more confident to be on stage, or maybe just like my aura was shining in a different way. And I remember like some people when I came back, they were like saying, wow, like you've just become more confident, you seem a lot more happier. And I think my favorite thing is, you know, like feeling more confident, because you know, you're really scared to transition in a way when you start, and then when you finally do, you end up feeling a lot more better about the choice you made to transition, because I'm a lot happier just living and looking the way I want to look.
Yeah, the best thing about being trans for me is just living my authentic self, being myself, and finally people seeing me for how I always saw myself. So I think that is such a great feeling, and I feel like people that maybe, you know, cisgender people don't have to deal with that, and it's something that maybe that, you know, people take for granted, and I don't, and I really appreciate every moment that when I wake up and I just know that I'm living the life I was always meant to live, or, you know, living the life I've always imagined, the way that my life would be, or should be, or could be, even when sometimes I thought that I could never live this life or be this life, you know. I'm just so happy and grateful that I am living my life. Like, I don't know, sometimes I just have to pinch myself that this is actually my life, you know. Yeah, it feels great. It just feels great to be you know, to feel comfortable in your own skin, and be accepted, and just accept yourself, I think, more than anything, and love yourself. I know that sounds really corny, but self-love, I feel like that's what transitioning has given to me, which is, I think, really powerful in every aspect of someone's life. If you have self-love, you can do anything, you know. You just have that confidence, and you just, you know, that I guess that shines from within. I don't know.
And I think it's like really important to be like proud of like yourself, and we're very open about being transgender, so like I think it's a great thing as well to be able to maybe inspire other people by being out and proud and owning that we're transgender. Like, I'm really happy that I'm transgender. I'm not ashamed of who I am, and yeah, I would hope that I can give that back to someone else that might be wanting to start their journey.
Yeah. Choosing your name can be a very daunting task, because obviously it's not something that most people do. You know, you're given a name when you're born, and you kind of just learn to deal with it or accept it. But when you have to choose your own name, it can be quite difficult, because there's a lot of pressure. You have to think like, am I really going to be happy with this name forever? It's kind of like getting a tattoo, I guess. Not that I've got one, but that kind of thing. So you just really want to make sure that you choose the right name. And so yeah, it can be a bit hard to settle on one. I mean, everyone's different, but for me, I found it really difficult to choose a name. So what I ended up doing was just asking my mum what name she would have called me if I was assigned female at birth, and she said Skye, and I thought, well, that's it, you know, I'll just, like, it's done, it'll be done for me, I don't have to think about it or stress about it. And I kind of just loved the name. I thought it was actually a good name, and I was great. Like, I can't believe I didn't think of that. But yeah, so it was one less thing I had to worry about, I guess. And yeah. How about you?
Well, I chose Victoria. I read the name meaning, and I was like, oh, I really like that, like Victoria, victorious, like I liked that. And I also like the nickname Vicki. So like I always joke I'm like Victoria in the day, Vicki at night. So just just a joke, but yeah, like I just like the name Victoria. I think it's like a nice name, and like Victoria's Secret, or like, you know, like Queen Victoria. Like I thought it was like just a nice name. I always thought it kind of sounded like it could be just like a nice name for a girl to have, and I liked it. And yeah, that's how I chose my name. I'm Vicki or Victoria, whichever you prefer. Whichever one you prefer. Skye can go first.
I think I did. I mean, yeah, I did. Work-wise was really easy, which was great and surprising to me, because I thought if I told my work, I'd be scared I was going to lose my job, and you know, that was one of my big concerns before transitioning, was if they were going to accept me or not. But I was very fortunate that when I told my work, they were really easy and accommodating, and I have to wear a uniform for work. And yeah, I told my trainer, and then she said, oh, no worries, we'll get you a women's uniform straight away, and they ordered it for me, and it was just so easy. She didn't make it seem like it was something to be ashamed of or anything. She didn't make me feel uncomfortable, which was so amazing. So yeah, I think if you are thinking about transitioning, don't let the worries, you know, of all these other obstacles like concern you. Like, don't overthink all of these things, because you will find support, you know. That, yeah, it's not as doom and gloom as you think. You know, people are out there that do understand and are willing to support you.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, I definitely had a few challenges with my family, but I would have to say that they have been pretty supportive lately. I've been living as Victoria for 7 years now, and I'm very happy. Like, I've always felt this way, but I actually started to affirm my gender 7 years ago, so it's been quite a process, but I love it. I'm very happy. We're both very lucky as well that we are supported by the Oxford Street community. We have been doing shows, I've been DJing, and we've just been like having a lot of fun. The drag queens have been very supportive of us, and a lot of the people that come out to the nightclubs have been amazing, and we're very grateful that we have a community that supports us. And I think my advice to anyone who isn't like feeling like they have any support is to be able to go out to somewhere where you might be more supported, because then you're going to meet people who love you. You wouldn't want to be anywhere that people aren't going to support you. Why hang out there? It's better for you to just go out and be with people who are going to be very supportive.
and it's very lucky that we have each other as well.
Yeah,
that really,
definitely.
That really helped the process. But if you do feel alone, you can always follow TransHub and go to the links there. They have amazing help and support. You know, it doesn't always have to be your family or friend that are there for you. You can find support, you know, with the community, the LGBT community, and TransHub can really hook you up with the right people and the right support that you need to get through your gender affirming transition journey.
And we never really had anything like TransHub when we were younger, and we didn't know where to start with our transition, and there's so much information on the website and on that you can also find here on Instagram, so make sure you follow, and we can have more people who know each other. Like, it was really difficult for us. We didn't really know any other trans people, but TransHub.
Yeah, definitely follow.
Okay, so I think I just started to notice the changes maybe about like 3 or 4 months in. Not so much like physically. I felt like maybe my skin got a little bit smoother or something. Like, there weren't really dramatic changes, but I think what was definitely a change for me was when I was out in public, and before I'd be called sir, and then when I started taking the hormones, people were starting to call me ma'am, and I had already grown my hair out for 2 years, so those like subtle changes, I guess, that the hormones do with your face or with your skin texture or something, just were showing after a couple of months, and people were starting to call me ma'am. And I even remember with Skye when she was going to work, and there was a point where the hormones had really kicked in, and it kind of looked like she was just wearing a boy's uniform for work, and it was just like really amazing what great they work on you.
Well, I guess, yeah, because I took the hormones for about a year before I started living as a woman full time, so that's probably, and then I started to, you know, I was going to the men's bathroom, and then like men would be like, oh, you're in the wrong bathroom, like what are you doing? And they would look at me like really confused and weird, and then I was like, oh my god, and then like I'd go running out, and then I didn't know where to go to the bathroom. I'd go to like the disabled toilets because I felt like I wasn't sure if I like passed enough to go into the women's, and obviously I didn't pass enough to go into the men's. Well, I just felt like, yeah, it was just a little bit scary as well, because I didn't want to you know, obviously get harassed or get abused, or, you know, or like, what about if I went to the women's one and they called the cops or something? Like, so yes, I was going to the disabled bathrooms for a while, and that's when I knew that I think I should start coming to work as a woman and like living as full-time as a woman. Yeah. Oh, it's hard for me to answer because I've been in a long-term relationship since I started my transition, so I can't really speak to that. Before I transitioned, I was cross-dressing, so that was a little bit worrying. I did feel in danger at some times, so I just always would have to be, you know, I'd be more like, you know, more safe, try to be safe as you can be. I feel like you still have to live your life, so you don't want to be living in fear constantly, but I would always tell the guys before anything, so I to try to avoid any backlash or like any harassment, if like, you know, if they found out afterwards or something. So yeah, I just try to be a little bit more upfront, or go to places that were gay friendly or queer friendly, so like Oxford Street, and try to stay in places where I felt accepted and that it was safer for me. Yeah.
I don't feel so much danger only because I feel like I make it really clear who I am as Victoria. So I'm not I'm not putting myself in a situation where they don't know that I'm transgender. So and I make it like clear that they know that they're meeting Victoria Anthony, and that I'm like very like active and proud to be who I am and in the scene. So I guess me disclosing that to them makes me feel safer with going on dates and meeting guys from online dating. And I feel like the best way for me was to go on dating sites to find people who'd be interested, because I feel like that's a little bit more safer in a way, because if they don't like it or they get aggressive about the idea of you being trans, like they're not like right in front of you, and I feel like that's a lot more safer for me in that way, because I disclose that I am transgender and it's up to them whether or not they message me. I'm not going to try and force anyone to like me. I'm me and I'm proud of who I am, and if they don't like it, then I'd prefer to just be with someone who loves that about me. Do you want to answer this? Maybe someone like Tyson Beckford or something, I don't know. But then I don't know if that's really like...
And what if I meet Britney's boyfriend? Like, he's really a celebrity, really, isn't he? Do you know what I mean?
Well, he's dating Britney, so I guess so. Anyway, that's our answer. I think that's fine. That could be our answer. Yeah, like we don't really have one, but yeah. If we could choose, I guess. Aww. Oh yeah, you go.
I'm not sure. I don't think so. I hope not. I mean, yeah, I don't wake up like this, so anyone could look just as good as me, or even better with the right makeup skills and the right makeup. And yeah, I definitely think it's like, it's a lot of effort, but anyone could do it. I don't think it's anything. I think if people are jealous, it's maybe because they don't know, maybe they're not sure how to achieve like this type of look, or a glamorous look. But I think everyone is beautiful, and anyone can look like a superstar, you know. You just need the right makeup and the right tools and techniques, that's all.
And I think like the problem is like a lot of people just see like the finished product. Like we've spent years trying to get to where we are, to feel confident, to feel happy, and it's not just like the appearance on the outside, like dealing with like our emotions and our own mental health and everything. So I think that a lot of people see the butterfly part, but there is a lot of time that we've spent in the cocoon to grow, and it's not just something that we clicked our fingers and we just had it all together in one go. A lot of people just see the finished product, and we do spend a lot of time, even just on a daily basis, getting ready to go out and to doing our makeup, doing our hair, whatever, our clothes, our styling and all that stuff. So it is a lot of work, but no one really sees that. And we want to just let you know that like there is a lot of work that goes on, not just with the appearance, but in everything else to grow into who you are. So yeah, I just think that's not something that people can really get jealous of, because we do spend a lot of time to be who we are, to become who we are today. You know,
and anyone can do it. Everyone has the power to do it, and you know, it's, or, you know, can learn skills and things.
Yeah.
Or self-improvement.
Yeah. Why not be
yeah.
like your best self that you can possibly be?
Yeah.
Check my nails. Baby, how you feeling? Head toss, check my nails.
It's not too late because honestly, I felt like it would be a hard journey, and even starting a lot later can be a lot harder. Yes, we started in our 20s, but there are like nowadays there are like kids who are starting when they're really young and they're really supported by their families. But I don't think it's ever too late, because when you do affirm your gender or transition, you end up just feeling a lot better about who you are and about yourself. So I think like if you ever feel like it's too late, it's not, because once you go to the other side, you just feel a lot more better and you don't really care what anyone's going to think about yourself. So, and because you're happy with who you are.
Yeah. I don't think it's ever too late to live your authentic self, so I think you could transition at any age. You know, I think obviously like if you start younger, the younger you are, the hormones work more powerfully, I guess. But in saying that, I just feel like everything happens for a reason, and maybe it just wasn't your time before, but the sooner you start, the sooner you start living your true gender, or however you feel, and expressing that, and start affirming your gender, the better. Like, you will not regret it. You know, why not live the life you've always imagined as soon as possible? So no, it's never too late. Yeah, I think it would be a shame if you never did it at all, and you did consider it for a while. I think you'd regret it more than if you did it and then you say, oh, I should have started earlier. Well, for me, I never thought that I could actually transition. I thought, you know, I've just, you know, I'm in this body, a male body, I've just got to deal with it, and, you know, I don't know, just kind of just live it, like live the way I'm living. I didn't really know I could access hormones, or that there was some type of treatment I could do to live as a woman. So yeah, I wasn't really sure until Victoria was in New York and she told me that she was going to transition, and I had gone to visit her, and she was about to start hormones, I think, or had you started
I'd
already?
started
oh,
2
yeah,
months,
2 months
yeah.
before. And then I saw how amazing she was looking and how happy she was, and yeah, she just had this like great vibe. Well, you always did anyway, but it just seemed even more like you were so happy that you had discovered these pills. You know,
These magical pills.
These magical pills. And yeah, you recommended them to me, or you were telling me, like, we had a D&M and we were talking about how she asked me if I saw myself getting old as a man, and I was like, oh my gosh, no way. And that was quite a scary thought. And then she was like, well, if you don't take the pills, then that's gonna happen. So that really like did something to me. I think it made me really put into perspective, like, that, you know, this is real, like this can actually help me, and this can actually change the course of my life in a positive way. And I didn't see myself growing old as a man, to be honest. In my old body, I didn't even care if I died. Like, I didn't really think about the future. I didn't have any real goals or plans. Like, I couldn't see myself getting old or anything. But yeah, as soon as I started taking the hormones, and it just gave me such a positive outlook on life, and then I could see myself getting old, and you know, planning my whole life. Like, it just felt like a life worth living. So yeah, when I got to Australia, Victoria told me about Taylor Square Clinic, and they've been great. Dr. Rachel's amazing, and she got me onto hormone therapy, and yeah, I'm really happy.
Yeah, definitely in Australia, when I started to affirm my gender back in New York, I just went and saw a counsellor, and then he was like, yeah, if you want to start your transition, or you wanted to start being more feminine, because that's what I really wanted when I first started. He said as long as I monitored and made sure that my health was good, then everything was possible. He was just really helpful. When I came back to Australia, we still have like the rule of like being able to, you had to go and see a psychologist and all of that. Luckily, I went and saw Dr. Rachel, and she was able to prescribe them because I was just running out of my hormones when I got back from America. So I would recommend, if you want to start, to go to Taylor Square Private Clinic. You can also see some information on the Gender Centre. And now we have TransHub, the amazing TransHub. And like Teddy was telling us about it, and we've seen the website and everything. It's just so helpful. They just never had anything like that when we started. And I think this is probably your go-to for everything that you want for
and even if you do
anyone that wants to transition or on the gender spectrum.
Yeah, and even for parents that have children that are transitioning or want to transition, there's so much support and help for them, and so many ways and tools for you to be educated, so you can learn more about the right way of how to like speak to a trans person, or how to affirm their gender. And yeah, there's so many resources on there, so definitely check it out.
Yeah. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed.
And I hope you learned a little bit more about our experience, and if it could help you in any way, that's all we wanted to do, is just shed a bit of light about our experiences, and if it can help you in any way, we've done our bit.
Yeah, and I hope you enjoyed the other videos that we have to post throughout the weekend, and we'll also be going live. We're doing things a little bit differently, but we just hope you enjoy. We want to be as fun as possible, be informative,
and as real as possible.
We don't want to try and be too serious. We just want to have a good time, have fun, and yeah, we're going to talk about a variety of things, and hope you all enjoy. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you for having us here at TransHub.
Thank you.